Good morning, dear students. We are on chapter 3 types of software where we have to continue system softwares. In the previous class, we have covered two types of system software. First is operating system and second is language processor. Operating system acts as a intermediary or interface between user and hardware, whereas language processors we have also completed, like a computer, which these codes needs to be translated from any other language to the machine language, because computer understands only machine language. So in the category of language processor we have done assembler, interpreter and compiler. If you still are not clear, watch the first video again. You will be more clear about both language processor and system software. Now next comes device drivers. Now these are the special programs which control the execution of a particular hardware device. Now these are again into the category of system software. So indirectly what you can say is operating system plays a very important role in managing these device drivers. So these are used to convert the instruction given by operating system, right? And these instructions by the operating system into commands that can be easily interpreted by a specific hardware device, right? So these two lines are important. So whenever you purchase any hardware, like if you have purchased a keyboard or mouse or printer, like they have given you an example of a printer where you need to install the printer software with the installation disk. So this, I hope everybody knows that we have to install a driver for that, and then this loads the new driver into operating system and enables us to use the hardware. So it's not like when you purchase any accessories of a computer, suppose you purchase a printer or something like that, you have to install their drivers also so that they will work, because in that case only the operating system will just give a command to that so that the work will be performed. Similarly, every hardware such as monitor, scanner, mouse, keyboard, etc. has their own drivers. So devices from different manufacturer needs to have their own drivers to function properly. So I hope this point is again also clear to you. It is very simple. Device drivers. Now the points which I am highlighting means these are the important ones in the topic, whereas this part in this case is an example. Now next, last category of system software is utility software. Utilities are programs that support that smooth functioning of a computer. Software utilities are specially designed to help end user. End users are we, like you, okay? Manage and tune the computer hardware software and perform single task at a time. So these utilities that you use depend upon the operating system running on your computer. Some utility help you to avoid virus attacks or clean virus. Some help to get the backup data, some to recover the data which accidentally you have erased. So these are some utility programs which are helping us, because we are the users, in case of avoiding virus, in case of getting backup, then to recover data that has been erased. So these are the main purposes of utility software. Now what is written in this? Know the fact. A driver is a small program code which is installed in your computer to enable the application software to communicate with the hardware. This is the same thing which we have completed in device driver. Okay. Now the main utility programs are also there. So it has their own subcategories like file and folder management. So backup, first come the backup, because it is an important feature of utility software. So this is a process of recovering data in case you have accidentally lost any data. At times the hard disk of a system fails. So they are giving you an example like in what cases the data you have get lost or accidentally get damaged. So the hard disk of a system fails and loses all the file stored in it. So an intelligent user keeps his file in backup storage in order to restore the original files at the same time of such failures. The current version of Windows have backup utility to make copies of data. So this is all about when you have a backup feature. So what they are saying is the intelligent user keeps all their files as in a backup mode, so that if they accidentally lost that data or it gets damaged due to some virus, you have the feature of restoring it back. This is the only main point covering in the topic of backup. Clear? Now the important points are these. Like the examples of backup softwares are Delta Copy, Ace Backup. So these are some softwares that you can easily find out through Google also. The next one is System Restore. It is the utility in Windows to restore your computer system's file to an earlier point in time. It is a way to undo system changes in your computer without affecting your personal files, such as email, document or photos. So this is just an option which is providing you a feature called system protection, right? To create and save the restored point. So at certain points, suppose we have Windows operating system and we accidentally delete any folder or any file from our system. So what happened? We quickly go to recycle bin and then restore that file into back to the place where it earlier was. So this restore system point is the utility in Windows or any other operating system only, so that the system protection is there, so that points regularly are kept restoring on your computer. Then the next one is compression. Compression is a technique which is used to compress files, right? It helps to reduce the consumption of storage space and ensures faster data transfer. Students, I hope this point makes you a little more clear about compression, because we one way or the other has done this compression technique, because sometimes when you got so much data now, suppose if I am saying I will give you notes of all the chapters which you have in your book through WhatsApp or through Gmail, right? So what happened? I will not send them directly. I have to compress that file. And on the other hand, you as a user, if want to fetch, want to get that data, you again has to compress all the files, because it will help and reduce the consumption of storage space. Clear? So we can compress multiple files or folders into a single file which is stored in a different format. So to use the data in the compressed file, it has to be decompressed first, because decompressed is like from your side. I will compress it and you will decompress it. And then WinZip is the most popular compression software. So if you want to know more about WinZip, you just Google it from your web browser, and then you will get to know that what WinZip is. So this is about one category of utility program, that is file and folder management. The next category comes disk management. So disk is again the same, comes in the same way, like it has importance in utility softwares. Disk management. Disk defragmentation is the first category. The storage of a file in several non-contiguous areas of a disk rather than a single contiguous unit is called disk fragmentation. Students, non-contiguous areas are which are not directly connected, or there is some space in between. So contiguous means which are just very close and connected in space, just immediate of it, because when the data is stored in a memory, it has some gap, or are connected in the form of contiguous and non-contiguous areas. So this is the way which by default a system memory is having. So why, when a file is stored on a disk, the operating system searches for the first available free block on the disk. Then stores the file there. If a file is too large for one block, the operating system searches for the next free space. And then if still that block is also like block or filled, then it goes to the next block to search. So these blocks may not be in contiguous form, means these blocks may not be immediate or very close, but they may be shattered. Scattered means they are different, far from each other over that. So this fragmentation slows down the retrieval of data. Retrieval means to get the data. So to remove this file fragmentation, a disk defragmentation program is used. So to remove this problem of file fragmentation, where each and every files are stored in a very contiguous location, in a very close form. So we have this defragmentation program that rearranges all files and directories into one contiguous area of disk and consolidate the space in one contiguous block. So it just manages the data efficiently and effectively. Then we have disk cleanup. It searches the computer hard disk for unnecessary files that are not being used for a long time and occupying huge amount of space. So this type of work we also are doing, like whenever you get your memory full or something at some point of time in your mobile phone as well as in your desktop computers, you just free up the disk space so that the new data will also reach up to that level. So by deleting this file, which can be used for the following types are temporary internet files, downloaded program files, recycle bin and window temporary files. So these are some types only. They have given you a small activity which you can do it through your computers. They have just given you step-by-step procedure, like when you go to start button, all programs, accessories, these types of options will come and you will be able to see it, like you can see it in this figure also. So this way disk fragmentation and disk cleanup process is being going on. Next we have virus scanner cleaner. In today's digital era, where all the work is being done on computers, it is imperative for us to safeguard our data from virus. A virus is a malicious program that replicates itself and makes the computer unstable. So everybody knows, like, virus are some dangerous and malicious program which replicates itself, means which repeats itself. It makes copies of one another and makes the computer unstable, makes your computer vulnerable to damage, or some your private data will get also lost. So this time antivirus softwares are computer programs to identify, prevent and remove virus from our computer. They perform the following task in our computer, like antivirus software scan the computer file to look for virus. Antivirus software specifies suspicious behavior from any computer. It also removes the program which indicate infection. So these are some important points which comes in the category of antivirus software. So this is how your virus scanner works, just to clean up your system and prevent it from any damage which can be caused by the virus. So we must remember that having an antivirus software in our computer does not guarantee 100% protection. But as an installed antivirus program would not be able to detect new virus program. We should keep on updating our computer with the latest versions of antivirus. So every time we have been told to upgrade or update the latest versions of every program. It's not only about antivirus but about other programs also which you have on your system, And just because we have the antivirus program, it also helps us to upgrade or update the programs, applications which we have in our computer. So they have given you some most popular antivirus programs. Students, you need to learn these names. First is Norton, McAfee, AVJ, Quick Heal and Kaspersky. So these are some common antivirus programs. Then the last category we have encryption decryption tool. Encryption is again a process of conversion of data into a form that cannot be easily understood by anyone except those who are possessing special information referred to as key. So this is done by using an algorithm called CIPR. Student, this is a name of any algorithm, right? The result of the process is encrypted information referred to as ciphertext. So what happened here? I will give you a real-time example. I have some message to give to my friend, right? Or I have some message to give to you only. And I don't want any other class to get that message. So what happened? I have a security aspect. I have a key called CIPR, right? I have a key called CIPR through which I know the process of encrypting my message so that it can reach only to you or to your class only. So that only if you have the key to fetch that data or to decrypt that data, then you will only be able to see my message. No other class will be able to see until and unless they have that key which I have given you. So this is just a simple process of protecting your data in one way or the other. So the key, the algorithm, the step-by-step process which has been used to do this process is known as CIPR. And the result of the process which you are encrypting in the information is referred to as ciphertext. Then encryption is primarily used in defense services. They have given you a very good example here. It is even used in civilian systems like online banking, e-commerce, mobile service. So it is one more example you can see. Whenever you are doing any payment, you know OTP has been sent to your mobile, your device, right? So what happens? That OTP only an authentic user will know only, because you are an authentic user, so you only know that OTP. So this is one way of doing encryption process to facilitate secret communication and privacy of data. FlexCrypt is one of the popular encrypting software which can be downloaded free of charge. So you just can see it, read about it on Google, but don't get into downloading such type of virus. Please refrain yourself in downloading such type of things. Only if you have a curiosity to know about them, just Google it and that's it. Then we have decryption. Now one way to we have encryption, which I am doing, but you also have some security aspect now, through that you can decrypt that message. So decrypt will be from your side. So it is a process of converting the encrypted data back into the original form so that it can be understood by anyone like you. Clear? So this is all about system software where we have covered. I will show you what from first we have covered. This is system software. So we have covered operating system, language processor, device drivers and utilities. Now in the next class, we'll get to know about application softwares. And application softwares are again of three types: general purpose, specific purpose and customized software.